His blind date never showed up until two little twin girls ran up. "They beat our mom, she's dying." Jason sat alone at the corner table of Luna's cafe, checking his watch for the 5th time. His blind date was late. Maybe she'd forgotten or worse, bailed. He sighed, scrolling through his phone, trying to shake off the sinking feeling of disappointment. Then, out of nowhere, two little girls, barely 8 years old, barreled toward him, their pigtails bouncing and eyes wide with panic. "They beat our mom. She's dying," one of them screamed, clutching the other's hand. Jason froze. Fear, confusion, and instinct collided in a single heartbeat. He didn't know these girls, and yet there was no hesitation. He jumped to his feet. "Where's your mom?" he asked, voice steady despite his racing heart. "In the alley behind the grocery store," the other girl shouted, tugging him toward the street. Jason grabbed his jacket, followed them, and found her, bruised, barely conscious, lying against the wall. The sight was jarring, but Jason's mind cleared instantly. He dialed 911 while comforting the twins, who clung to his arms like fragile dolls. "Hey, it's okay. You're safe now," he whispered, brushing hair from their tear-streaked faces. The paramedics arrived quickly, and Jason stayed with the girls until their mom was stabilized and taken to the hospital. He learned her name was Marissa, a single mother working 2 jobs, struggling to make ends meet. Seeing her life flash before his eyes through those kids' terrified expressions shook something loose inside him. Hours later, sitting in the hospital waiting room with the twins, Jason realized he hadn't even thought about his date. And strangely, he didn't care. The girls leaned against him, exhausted but slowly calming down. "You're like a hero," one whispered. Jason chuckled softly, though his chest still ached from the adrenaline and worry. "I'm just a guy who saw you needed help." Marissa eventually woke up, weak but alive. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she thanked Jason repeatedly. The twins hugged him tightly, their small arms barely able to wrap around his torso. In that moment, he felt an unexpected warmth, a connection that had nothing to do with romance and everything to do with human compassion. Days later, Jason visited Marissa and the girls. He helped organize groceries, set up a small fund for medical bills, and even started tutoring the twins after school. What had begun as a night of disappointment turned into a life-changing bond. Jason realized something profound. Sometimes love and purpose don't come from who shows up for a dinner date. They come from answering the call of someone in desperate need, showing up when no one else can, and letting kindness guide your steps. Over the next few weeks, Jason found himself returning to Marissa's apartment more often than he ever expected. He helped patch up broken shelves, fix a leaky faucet, and even taught the twins how to ride bikes in the small park nearby. Each visit deepened a bond that was unspoken but undeniable. One rainy evening, as he was helping Marissa carry groceries up the stairs, she paused and looked at him, her eyes wet but smiling. "You know," she said softly, "I don't know what we would have done without you that night. You didn't just save me, you gave my girls hope." Jason shrugged, pretending to brush it off, but he felt a lump in his throat. "I just did what anyone should do," he said. Marissa shook her head. "No, most people walk by. Most people ignore crying kids on the street. You didn't just help, you stayed. You cared." That night, as he walked home through the puddles, Jason realized that he was learning something deeper about himself, about courage, about empathy, about the quiet power of showing up. His life had been fairly ordinary before that night, but now it felt alive in ways he hadn't known it could be. The twins began calling him Uncle Jay, and their laughter filled the small apartment, even on the hardest days. Marissa started to heal slowly, but her gratitude never waned. And in that gratitude, Jason found a sense of fulfillment that no blind date or fleeting romance could ever have given him. One afternoon, the girls ran into the room holding handmade thank you cards. Jason knelt down, his eyes misting over as they handed them to him. "We love you, Uncle Jay," they shouted in unison, giggling. Jason hugged them, holding on a little longer than usual. "I love you too," he whispered, realizing that love wasn't always about destiny or chemistry. It could be born out of trust, purely into shared hardship. And as he left that day, watching them wave from the doorway, Jason understood the truth of what had happened that night. Sometimes life doesn't give you the moments you expect. It gives you the ones that matter. In helping others, he had found purpose. In standing with strangers in their darkest hour, he had discovered a light that would never fade. Because kindness, once given, always returns, often in ways you never see coming.